Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. I'm John, she's Fran. We are the Corporate Breakout Couple. Today we are very excited to be here in Jakarta and we are interviewing our dear friends Samuel and Claudia, who is a young Indonesian couple from Jakarta. We interviewed them previously. They are the young Indonesian couple, the FIRE couple with a young daughter, and they achieved financial independence and retired early in their early 30s. And they now run a successful YouTube channel in Jakarta, and they cover content on personal finance and much more. Do check them out.
Guys, welcome to our channel. It's really a pleasure having you here. And for today's video, we are just having a casual conversation between Claudia and Samuel so that we can understand what's it like living in Jakarta, what's the cost of living, and we're so fortunate to have people on the ground living here in Jakarta to tell us all about it.
So guys, what's the cost of living like pre and post pandemic?
I think it has definitely gone up pre and post pandemic. Before the pandemic, prices were lower, and after the pandemic, we have seen. I think it's contributed by a lot of factors, not just the pandemic, but like the ongoing war that disrupt the global supply chain. Prices has gone up, and like for example, the egg, I'm talking about. Daily rice, egg, cooking oil. The prices has gone up definitely.
Yeah. And also from the government, we have increase in tax as well. So that's why it's really impacting the prices nowadays. Yeah. But not sure if it's because of COVID or not. But definitely right now prices has increased even from the electricity. And from gasoline and everything has been increased.
So can I say for the lower and middle income people, they are getting more squeezed because a lot of all these basic necessities are what, is for their survival, right?
Yeah, actually you are right. Right now, people have been saying that their life has been more difficult because of the prices increase.
So I think definitely the middle, lower income have been squeezed. You're right about it, John. And I think there's this sentiment of, I wouldn't say entirely disappointed, but there is definitely this sour feeling towards the government. Definitely there's this uncertain feeling towards the future now that we have a new government in place, how the new policies are going to play out. Will it be helpful towards the little people, or will it exert more pressure? We're also going to have the head of states election jointly nationwide the end of this year. So I think besides the rising price, this year is also quite a political year for Indonesia, with us having the new government as a nation, and also as the provincial heads that will be elected later this year. So I think we're expecting to see a lot of changes. Yeah.
Would I be able to ask you do you think the changes are going to be for the better, especially for, let's say, the middle income people, or, you can foresee some, not so good kind of, because of how the political parties are set up, is it going to be good or bad?
So I think, again, this is my personal opinion. What I see in how the vision of these two governments is quite different. I think Jokowi's is a bit more outward looking. He's a bit more business minded. He's a businessman himself. So there's a lot of policies that try to attract foreign investment. While Prabowo he's a military background. His following are largely people who admire him for his nationalistic approach, Indonesia first approach. So this you can see from the presidential car that he used during his inauguration ceremony. He used a locally produced Pindad, the brand, as opposed to something that's foreign made. And he also placed interesting people in his cabinet that we see might bring different style of policy compared to his predecessor. But I'm not a professional political
I remember when I was here in Jakarta about 8 years ago, there weren't an MRT LRT system. Now you have it in the heart of Jakarta, right? Isn't that amazing? Maybe you can share more about it.
Yeah, wow, 8 years is a long time away from Jakarta. You're right. We've been a lot have been changing, and previously we only have a bus way system, and now yes, we do have the subway, MRT, and also the LRT, the overhead train. And yes, it's been changing the way people commute to the heart of Jakarta. Previously, because a bus, they're still sharing the lanes with cars, so it still get caught up in the traffic. But right now, because we have the MRT, which is go underground, it's really reliable in terms of the timetable. No more late trains, so you cannot use the traffic excuse if you're late to office, yeah, because the timetable is very strict for the MRT, and it's really helping a lot of people right now because we don't have to bring cars anymore. Right now we can just go bring our cars to the nearest MRT station, the nearest one to your home, park there, and then take the MRT and walk a bit to your office. So it's very helpful in terms of commuting, and also the price is also very cheap. It's very worth it with the speed and the comfort that they are offering right now.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say that the MRT system has helped to ease congestion, especially among the central areas, the offices?
Well, I wouldn't say it reduced the traffic. I don't know. I mean, if we are looking at the traffic right now, there are still traffics everywhere, but it really helps individual if they now have options to reach their office without the traffic, if they want to take the MRT. So we have more alternative to go into the heart of city right now.
And it's currently under development still, right? There's going to be more lines. I heard it's from south to central Jakarta, the current line, and it connects to the airport as well, right?
Right now they already have this connection train to airport from the central Jakarta, and they are building more lines, so they will be reaching the suburbans in the east of Jakarta and the south of Jakarta. So hopefully in the next 5 years, more people can use MRT from more places away from Jakarta.
I think what we see is, at least even though we still haven't seen quite significant decrease in congestion, but at least the people's mindset has changed. It used to be perceived as, public transport is dirty, it's not reliable, you'll get all sweaty and hot when you come to the office. But now more and more people who used to drive car, they would forego the comfort a little bit for getting on the public transport, especially MRT. It's now perceived as safe, reliable, and clean, and you would see people dressing up when they go to the MRT. You see stylish people. You see people who, I expect to get off MRT and then walk a bit to the office. So we didn't see that previously. Street fashion is one thing, but I think mindset change is happening, and definitely it's a progress, but I think it's an optimistic progress moving forward.
That's great. What about ride hailing? I think it was around 10 to 12 years ago when Gojek and Grab introduced themselves to the Southeast Asian market especially. Has that also changed the pattern of the commuters as well?
Yeah, I remember on the early days of Gojek development, actually we already have motorbike taxi even before Gojek, but it was not very comfortable because we have to haggle, with the driver ourselves.
Okay.
And so you want to go from point A to point B, and sometimes you can get the price very differently, depends on the driver. So, and we are worried about our safety as well, because if he's he wants to kidnap you, for example, who will be responsible? Who will know where's our position? I mean, there's no one responsible for that, right? Only the driver who is taking you on that journey. So people has been reluctant to use that service, even though it's very convenient, because with the traffic, motorbike can move easily in the back alleys, and so we've been wanting that kind of service for a while. But now with Gojek coming in, the local ride-hailing apps, it really helps us to first of all to set the price, because now we know how much we have to pay for that certain service that we are taking. And second, it's safe because we know who is driving us, and we know who to complain, if there is anything happen to us during the journey. And so with the coming in of Gojek that 10-12 years ago in the Indonesian market, it's been really the answer of all the worries and our needs that time for comfortable and convenient motorbike or transportation system.
And for us foreigners as well, coming to Jakarta to visit, I used to come together with Fran to Jakarta very often before we became hawkers. So in those days, we will take like the Bluebird, right, or the more reputable taxi companies, because some of the other companies, like what you say, the price, for especially for tourists, we don't understand the local language, right? So it was so difficult. And now with Grab and Gojek is so convenient because everything is in writing. You can place your destination A to destination B clearly, and they don't get confused. There isn't any language barrier because everything is in writing, right?
Yes.
So I think the whole ride hailing has really helped, Indonesia as a whole. In Bali as well, we take a lot of Grab and Gojek. Now, I want to ask you something. When I was here years ago, I noticed that the Indonesians here have this like service. It's like a errand running service that you can actually hire, people from Gojek or any other companies to run errands for you. Go and buy cigarettes or go and run an errand, buy movie tickets. How does that work?
Yeah, actually, as you know, Indonesians are very used to living a comfortable life with a lot of helpers, like domestic helpers, drivers. Even in office, we have the so-called office boy, help us run errands like that.
Make coffee, buy our lunch.
Yeah, basically they will do everything that you ask. But sometimes we cannot afford a maid, or even we cannot afford driver, right? So we just need a specific, just one task that we need someone to help us, and that's where Gojek or Grab drivers help us. So they are very helpful in a way that, for example, we want to send documents, but we don't have time, and it's urgently have to be sent right now to the partner office, for example, and we want to line up for movie ticket or concert ticket, but again, we don't have time. They can do that for us. So
some people do it. Some people hire Gojek driver to become detective.
Oh,
so they suspect that the boyfriend is cheating. Bapak, can you go to this destination and check this person? Because you can send photo, right? And then they send photo of the boyfriend. You find him if he is there. And then you report to me. Find the car with this license plate. Take a photo. So
that's an ingenious way of using them as a private investigator.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
All sorts of things.
Yeah, and of course it boils down to cost, right? I mean, if I'm rich, I can hire a driver, full-time driver, all these people to help me do things. Of course, it's easy, but I notice a lot of like middle-income people are using these kind of services as well. So, is there a small or big premium tag to the cost of this kind of errands?
Well,
like maybe how much more does it cost?
I think for one errand probably it costs around, let's say in average 50,000. So 50,000 rupiah, and I think it's very affordable because usually people who use this kind of service, you're right, it's middle to low income, but they are office worker. They don't have the liberty, to go anytime to queue for concert ticket because they have to go to the office, right?
Yeah.
So it's I think it's quite cheap compared to the effort because otherwise they have to take a whole day leave and it's gonna cost them 1 day wage, so it's definitely cheaper.
Wow, it's a fantastic cost saving thing that you actually I envy you to have that in Indonesia, because think of how much time you can save running all these errands, and there's all these heavy traffic congestions, right, that you cut all that having somebody to run the errand for you.
Yeah. Okay, aside from buying the concert ticket, movie ticket, you can even ask them come, to clean your house. There's that service, and then also the beauty service for manicure, pedicure, even massage. So basically, anything that you can think of, they can
That's
come
legal.
and do it. Yeah, as long as it's legal, they can come and do it for you at your home.
Wow,
And
that's
this is not limited to the two platforms that we earlier mentioned. Some even create their own company okay, we are a
Beauty salon.
beauty service that comes to your home. So that's their whole service. You know, others is we're gonna do deep cleaning to your sofa or to your bed. So they come with this really big vacuum, really proper hotel professional, and they do cleaning for 1 or 2 hours. So all sorts of services. Yeah.
Even the groceries. Right now they are doing the fresh groceries because the thing is with groceries is it has to be delivered fast, right? Because frozen items, chilled items, and now with this kind of service, they can do the shopping for you and then directly deliver to your home.
So you don't even need to leave the house.
We don't
like
even-
everything is basically all service can be delivered to your house.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're becoming a lazy society.
No, and the beauty is the premium is so low because of the cost of labor is relatively low and people
Yes.
there's demand for such services.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why you should do all this beauty,
Well, you're
manicure,
Yeah.
massage,
Do
do it in
everything.
Oh,
Jakarta.
they can come to the hotels as well, right? Oh, yes. Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind the next time we come. So if I'm a foreigner intending to retire in Jakarta or even just working and living here, which residential areas will you recommend?
So it really depends on the kind of lifestyle that you want to have. I think this area that we're in, the central area, is quite popular among expat. We also have some areas in the south that's also quite popular. Kemang, for example, the Kemang area. And the lifestyle that you can have as an expat is totally diverse as well. If you want to be a dirt cheap backpacker, you can have a studio apartment for example, 200 to 5 juta rupiah, 5 million rupiah per month. That you can get a studio with a kitchen where you can cook. They usually provide washing machine and it's usually air conditioned.
In the suburban area, right?
In central.
Oh, in Central. Wow.
In the central.
5 million Central.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, 5
Okay.
million in the central. But if you come here with family, definitely you would want accommodation that's near good schools, have enough space for your family. So I see some expat choose to live in Tangerang area, the BSD area, Bintaro area. There's a lot of expat families who want to live nearby international schools. So that's arrangement is also possible. The rent is usually
Maybe 10
to 10, 20 million a month, for a house, for a landed house. 10.
A landed house?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, full furnished landed house. Usually they cater to expat families, so they usually come with swimming pool, and maid that can come and clean once in a while. So it really depends on the lifestyle.
If you're an expat living in, let's say, South Jakarta, the suburban area, do you have access to facilities like hospitals or maybe like supermarkets and gym facilities?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, because it's available, but you might have barriers in terms of language. Some expats who come here speaks only English. They would face that language barrier because not all hospitals and not all doctors can communicate clearly in English. So there's definitely that. And maybe there's this initial uncertainty from maybe if I would imagine our audience, maybe they're coming from a more developed country or countries like Singapore, for example, where everything is more straightforward and more internationalized. A lot of the facilities here are more to catered or prepared for local target market. So maybe there's a bit of getting used to that needs to happen. And we definitely don't have the luxury of convenient public transport in the outer skirts of Jakarta. We did talk about MRT and LRT. It served mostly the south and central area for now. More is being built, more is being expanded. But for now, if you look at this outer area of Jakarta, you have to have a car, for example. You have to be able to drive. You have to be able to bring yourself to all these places. But then again, as an expat, you can always rent a car, rent a driver. That's also an option that's available.
But the way I see it, the suburban area is really developing rapidly. Right now, a lot of international schools, a lot of international grade hospitals are opening their branch also in southern Jakarta, so in BSD area, in Bintaro area. So it's definitely growing. You would be surprised if you come here 8 years ago, going to BSD, you visit here and if you visit there today, you would be surprised, at how much it has developed for the past decade.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
What would attract people, especially foreigners, expats, to come to Jakarta? What is the draw of Jakarta?
So I think people would jokingly say when you come to Indonesia, just skip Jakarta, just go to Bali, just go to Medan, Jogja, the other cities but Jakarta. I think jokingly we like to say to our traveling friends that there's nothing to see. There's mall here and that's it basically. But I think what can be done in Jakarta? Jakarta is a business center for Indonesia right now. I think if you are looking to create something, if you are looking to bring in foreign activity, food, services, business products, I think there's as a developing city, there's still a lot of things that maybe a common thing for our overseas friends, but they haven't existed here. And as a people collectively, Jakartans, they have a big FOMO, fear of missing out. So if there's a new food in town, you have to go and try before everyone else. If there's a good movie out, everyone has to see it. So there's this sense of me too. I want to learn it too. I want to taste it too. I want to try and everything. So I think if you are a person who wants to explore new business, explore new ventures, you have good ideas to be implemented, I think you can definitely take advantage of the market here, and also with the cost of living and cost of labor significantly lower from the rest of our neighbors, more developed cities. I think building a business is still an attractive option for people who's looking to come to Jakarta and try new things.
Yeah. And then probably I'd like to add, Jakarta is for those who love to live in big cities. Yeah, so who love to go to shopping malls, who appreciate air cons, and love to explore international diversity, because it's easy to find food from all over the world here. It's easy to find even schools, Korean schools, Japanese school, New Zealand schools in Jakarta. If you want to stay in other cities besides Jakarta, it would be very hard for you, to find that kind of options, international foods, international schools for your kids. And even if we are saying about hospitals, I think best hospitals in Indonesia are also located in Jakarta. Also the airport, which has the most connection to international flights, also in Jakarta. So if you're looking for connectivity and party, not party, okay. If you are looking
Party,
for
no nightlife. I think Jakarta has a lot of nightlife as well. Yes.
You should go tonight.
Yeah, let's go after this.
Of course, we have party, but party, not as young, maybe as in Bali. But of course, in here you can enjoy more upscale, more. How to say, chill, elevated, more premium, luxurious.
Whiskey bars, okay.
In Jakarta,
In our last interview, we shared that you two are a young fire couple with a young daughter. So how is it like being early retired here in Jakarta so far?
So Jakarta has always been our home. We are born here, raised here. We left overseas for education, but then we came back here and built our career for the past 10 plus years here. So we have considered a few times maybe testing out new cities, moving out to different country. But for now, I think it's a convenient place. It's a convenient place with a lot of opportunities. So for the time being, Jakarta is, I think, the place where we're gonna raise our daughter. We have enrolled her in a school recently, and I think for now, we are going to focus on raising her. So after retirement, right, we have left the traditional corporate 9 to 5. We have been doing our content creation on YouTube and Instagram. We do have our I have our my consulting work, but it takes very small time of the week. So I think most of the time, right now we're focusing on raising our daughter and just trying to give her the best we can, the time and attention that she might need right now that she's growing up.
Yeah, that's amazing. How about yourself, Claudia? For you as a young mother and being early retired, how's the experience like?
Yeah, because I've been working ever since even when I was in high school, I already worked part-time. And so I've been working all my life until last year. Actually, last year was when I exit corporate life. So it's actually a very surprising and refreshing change of pace, because instead of rushing to office, working 9 to 5, doing everything to catch to reach my KPI. Right now, I can slow down and really think about what I really want to explore. For now, what I've been doing is, beside taking her and picking her up from school, I've been doing more exercise. Because I think. I realize health is really something that I've been missing to take care of all these years, and while it's very important because I don't want to to get sick, I want to grow old healthy and spend longer time, quality time with my daughter. So I've been exercising quite a lot after I exit corporate, so yeah, it's really about the freedom of using my time to do things that is important for me, like playing with my daughter, seeing her grow up, exercising, and having more time to date my husband. So
I like that. Date your husband. You date her, not he date you, right? Very nice.
It's really rewarding. I know that money, of course, cannot buy happiness. Money is not everything, but the sense of security and stability to know that I will be able to support myself while taking sometimes off outside of corporate is really liberating for me, and it helps me to know myself better. To know what's really important, what really I want to do in this life, because I never had that kind of privilege growing up. My priority is how to make money, how I can support my parents, how I can support my brothers. But now, at last, I can think for myself, what is really good for me, what I really want to do in my life with the free time that now I have.
I think for a lot of people who are in pursuit of fire, achieving the fire number can be like one big goal. But we do realize that after we achieve that, it's like when you finish a level in a video game, level 1, you just defeat the boss, and then now you're level 2. So it's like another different game for us right now. Like the sensation of satisfaction, the happiness, the fulfillment that appear once you achieve the fire number. It lasts. I mean, it still lasts until today. Every time we track our net worth, track our budget, we look that we are in a safe place financially. But the next thing that we need to be on the lookout for is like, okay, what's gonna be our purpose for now? What's gonna be the thing that we want to do?
What's next?
What's next for us? And for us right now, it's only been 2 years, so our focus mainly is the daughter, like raising her together. But yeah, I think looking forward, there might be, I don't know, bigger projects or bigger things that we want to do. So we're just looking for hoping for the best.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, guys. I really love what you share, especially after 2 years being as early retirees. For Fran and myself, we also been retired for 4 years now, and I totally get what you are saying, the time freedom to be able to have the space to think about what you want, anchoring your identity, right, without needing to anchor it to work, that we have all been in the corporate rat race for the longest time.
True.
And importantly is, prioritizing what's important and about what's next, right? A lot of people think, oh, I want to get to financial independence, I want to be early retired, but they don't really think about what's next after that. So that itself is an entire an entire new journey,
Yeah.
right? Which you guys are running. I'm so happy for you all, and you're doing it with with each other, with your daughter. I congratulate both of you for being on this journey, and
Thank you.
support you, in your
You and Fran also
future endeavors.
inspire us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We learned a lot from you too.
Yeah.
And there you have it, wise words from Samuel and Claudia. Guys, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
to
you so
the
much
show.
for sharing
this.
And I hope you guys have learned from the two of them and what they shared about cost of living in Jakarta and also as early retirees. I'm John, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple, signing off. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.